All right, everybody. You thought we were dead. We're not dead. We're back with another episode of Maple-Baum. Mark, how are you feeling, dude?
What the fuck crawled into your throat?
I don't know.
Okay, well, see, that's the
Listen,
thing.
they try to stop us. We had this planned, and then my throat got fucked up, and I was like, no, we're gonna fucking do an episode. I don't care if I sound like Steve-O. We're gonna fucking do it, okay?
You sound like Steve-O before the drugs or after the drugs. I don't know. Look, his throat sounds like shit. My beard is now gray. This is season 3 of the Maple-Baum podcast. This was me a year ago. Look, young and wholesome. Fuck, you can't see it on the goddamn video because the fucking light, because the damn camera light. Anyway, I'm younger there. That's when Jordan defeated me at the goddamn roast battle.
It went downhill from there.
Many more roast battles were lost on my end. But anyway, we're back now. My beard is gray, my dick is small, and the podcast starts right goddamn now.
Yeah, you guys thought we were done. We're not done. We're just getting started, all right?
No bullshit. This comedy shit has aged me by years.
Absolutely,
you know?
dude. Oh my
God. It's like when you see like a president when he first gets into office, and after 2 terms, he looks like shit.
Dude, I'm getting white hairs now. I'm 26, and I'm already getting white hairs. I don't know.
That's not good. That's really not good. You really are gonna turn into your fucking favorite comedian of all time.
My boy.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I wish this was behind me, but oh wait, I can't take it off. Damn it, it's nailed. I have a Steve Martin photo right there.
Do you have a Steve Martin?
A Steve Martin, yep. He's hanging on my wall. He's just hanging on my wall.
He's hanging by his head. You put the arrow through his fucking head. He's like, "Ow! I haven't done this act in 50 years. Ow! Get me out of here! Ow!"
But no, we're here, guys. We're trying to stay more efficient.
We don't know. We'll see.
Maybe have a live show idea coming in the works. Maybe. Don't get
maybe.
your hopes up. That's another reason we've been kind of like, ooh, that'd be kind of cool. So we're maybe we'll get back to you guys. We'll keep you posted. But yeah.
If not, there's no other podcast to listen to.
That's true. There's no podcast, no comedians. Comedians don't do podcasts anymore.
I've never heard of it. When we came up with it 2 years ago. We were original.
Everyone copied us.
Yeah. Everyone came out of the woodwork afterwards. You know, that was our idea.
This is a good idea, and then he made over 3,000 episodes.
Yeah. You see, he found like a time loop. Okay, we started it first. And then he found out some fucking Christopher Nolan goddamn time loop to make 3,000 episodes before we did.
That's true.
It's a paradox.
Paradox, motherfuckers.
Look, we're tired. We want to discuss the crazy gigs we've done in the past couple years. And when you're at our level, you got to agree to some really weird shit.
Yeah.
In faraway places. You don't know how good it's going to be. You don't know what you're going to get yourself into. So we want to talk about all the weird, wacky gigs we've done recently.
You know, it's
Jordan,
so crazy that he brought this up right before the podcast. And like yesterday, I was like, man, that'd be a fun episode if we just talked about like our worst shows. And then Mark goes, you want to talk about our worst shows? And I was like, yes.
Well, worst and best. I think some of these have a great story to tell, and then some others...
Yeah, like maybe not... I'd also like to hear weird shows that you thought were going to be bad, but they ended up being a fucking blast. That'd be kind of fun, too.
Well, I want to talk about one recently. I recently screwed up my back again, right?
Wow.
Because I did a weed show in Chico.
You told me this.
Now, here's the deal. It was in Chico. It was at this awesome venue called Gnarly Deli. I heard a lot about it. I thought, who cares? And then I went to it. I was like, this checks all the marks. Low ceilings, cool aesthetic, everything's set up perfectly, nice lighting, cool staff, good host, Jake Risley. Everything about it's a nice setup. Perfect. Good lineup.
Right.
It was me. It was Jake Risley, Connor Martin, who's my favorite 209 comic. Fuck
Right.
you. Fuck you. Fuck
Ooh.
you. I'm pointing to you, Jordan. Pointing to you.
Why?
Fuck you. Because that's my favorite 209 comic.
That's amazing. He's one of the best 209 comics out there. What are you talking about?
I just want to get mad for no reason.
Why are you
I'm
saying
grouchy.
fuck me? I'm not anywhere near Connor Martin or any of the Deaf Puppies level. The fuck? Like,
fuck you. And then the headliner was Miles Weber. So
ooh.
this was a good lineup. The concept of the show is this, okay?
Wait. Did somebody make a joke toward to Miles about trying to give him fentanyl?
I don't know.
Because he posted a clip online, and I heard somebody in the background. And I was like, he laughs like Mark. Somebody in the background. So I don't know if you were watching him.
Was there arches in the background?
Maybe.
Or columns or something?
I'll have to look. I don't remember.
All right. So anyway, this is what happened. You do a set, okay? Yeah. Okay. Then everyone does their sets.
Right.
And then there's an intermission break.
Yes.
You go to the back, you smoke pot. Now, the pot was served in this thing called the volcano, okay?
So what, like a bong?
It was like a bong, right? Like a plastic bong, and the weed smoke swirls around in it, and they hand you a straw. And you take your straw, and you suck up all the weed smoke out of it, and it inhales into your lungs immediately.
Is that like a hookah?
Sorta.
Okay.
So anyway, you get the high. It hits you immediately, all at once. I'm not tolerant with weed, so I immediately started coughing very hard until it was like this. Like that.
Jesus Christ.
So I was coughing so hard, I threw out my fucking back.
Oh, Mark. That sucks.
Connor Martin, on the other hand, is totally okayed with weed. So he had two hits. Yes, he is. So he had 2 hits of that shit. And guess who had the best set of the night?
Connor Martin.
That fucker. Me, on the other hand, I had a decent stone set, but my last joke didn't land. It's okay. I just wanted to get through the set. At the end of it, I was like, give it back to your host, Jake Risley, everybody. Jake, you're going to have to find the mic stand. And I just went up to him and handed him the mic and then just went in the back.
I think I'd have a freak out if I was high on stage.
Yeah, dude, I was in the back and I was like, I just got to get through this. As long as I don't say dude, I was like, I don't care if it's going to be good or bad. As long as I get through it and I don't say the N word, that's fine.
Why? Why is that your immediate thought?
Because I just don't know. I was very... You know what it felt like? It felt like I wasn't doing comedy. It felt like I was playing a first-person shooter, okay? That's what it felt like. It just felt like there was a reticle, and I was looking at audience members, and they were enemies, and then, like, there's this, like, laughs meter, and then there's, like, this nervous meter on the bottom of the screen. That's what it felt like.
Well, I'm glad you got through it.
But I got through it. I got some laughs. I earned my pay. I had a nice sandwich, and thank God Connor Martin drove me back.
Oh, there you go.
Thank
Did you
God.
drive your car and he drove your car?
Yes.
I had to do that for Mark before.
Yes.
That gives me so much anxiety. I fucking hate driving other people's cars. I've done that for like my roommate, even my fiance, because they have nicer, like you, her, everyone I know has a nicer car than me.
What's easier to drive than a fucking Honda Civic?
It's easy. What I'm saying is it gives me anxiety when it's not mine.
Oh.
Like, I have a 2012 Honda Civic. Yours is like what? A 20? 2019?
Not a fucking Hummer, you know?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, this is so nice, and if I hit anything, I'm fucked. That's my...
But yes, I don't know if I'll do another weed show. Maybe I will. Fuck it. Who am I kidding? You know, they need the stage time. But that was quite an experience, and I was glad I was on it. It was a fun show, and we all had a good time. Also, the audience members were stoned as well.
Man.
And they said, there's been various...
that?
They all joined us in the back. There was a vendor. There was a weed vendor there.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and they were like, wow, yeah, some of these shows, some comedians just go up there and just stare at people and don't even tell jokes. So I'm like, all right, well, at least I did something.
Right.
But I'll say this: when I was in the back, when somebody went tell something and then you laugh. It felt like it lasted for 2 hours, you know? That's what it felt like. It was a fucked up show.
Man.
But it was fun. Anyway, what do you got for me?
This one's one of my this one's pretty bad. So I don't want to give it away too much of whatever. I'll just say the story. So I got this gig where they were throwing a birthday party, and it wasn't what you would think. I get there, it's at a warehouse. So the way to get in is like a legit garage door they had to open up.
Yes.
And it was like a 2-story warehouse. So there's people like on a balcony. It was packed, right? Like maybe over 100 people there. But in the middle of this place was a circle stage, right? And people were around it.
You were doing the round.
And I was like, okay, a lot of people here, but it's loud as shit, right? Because they're just playing like music and stuff like that.
Yes.
So then the DJ booth's right next to the table. So the guy goes, all right, you guys ready? And we're like, yeah. He turns off the music and everyone's like, who the fuck did that? Who turned off the music? And he's like, hey, we have some comedians for you. And everyone's like,
God.
No,
oh, God.
No, we don't want comedians.
Shit.
And I'm like, I guess we shouldn't do it. The guy's like, no, fuck that. You're doing it. And this is like my first year. So I was like, all right. So I grabbed the mic and I'm like, hey, everyone. And everyone just doesn't give a fuck. Everyone's like, fuck these guys. Da-da-da. Except for 3 people in the front row of the stage. So, you know me, I'm like, fuck everyone else. I'll perform for these 3.
Sure.
So I'm having fun with these 3, screaming over that's probably why my voice sounds like this. I'm all talking, and there's this fucking small, I'm talking 5'6" Mexican guy, face tattoos, wife beater, in the back, just watching.
Something, people out of a David Ayer movie.
Yeah, he's just watching me. And then I'm talking about my girlfriend. Like, oh yeah, I got a girlfriend, da-da-da-da. And she goes, oh, is she pretty? Bet you she'd suck my dick. Out of nowhere, just screams it. And then it actually gets quiet. Yeah. And all I said was, nah, bro, she only fucks tall guys. That's all I said. So, again, not clever, just I was new. And I say that, and he tries to rush the stage at me. He's like, what the fuck you say to me, you piece of shit? And his friends are holding him back. But I was so irritated. I said, what are you going to do? He's like, I'll fucking shoot you. I'm like, with your squirt gun?
Right.
And he's like, I'll fucking kill him. And they had to throw him out of the party. And it got some people's attention. So I was like, okay, we got 10 people now.
I like it. You were doing the roasting of a 10-year-old kid, and he was going ballistic about it. Like, hey, booger head, what are you gonna do about it, small fry? You gonna shoot me with your squirt gun? So he's like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna kill your dad and you rape your mom.
That's literally how he sounded. So literally they throw him out of the party. I'm like, okay, cool. And then, but since that happened, some people are like, oh, this is funny. And I started to get some people.
Thought it was a skit.
So I was like, awesome. I have 10 people now. And all of a sudden, like I said, this is the stage. The garage door was right here to let people in. 3 dudes on dirt bikes roll up and start doing donuts outside. And I'm like, what the and everyone just was like, ooh, looking at the motor. So I'm like, fuck this.
So this was a private gig of horrors.
Yeah, and then literally right after my set, I just got in my car and left because I didn't want to take any chances with that guy. I definitely was like, he might have a gun. Face tattoos, he has a gun.
Did you get paid well?
No, I didn't get paid at all.
Oh, fuck.
It was my first year of comedy.
That sucks.
The payment was publicity.
Oh, fuck.
Literally, that one, I always look back on. So I did it. That was the second year I went there. The first year I went there, it was actually a good time.
Oh, okay.
It was the same exact thing. It was still a little rowdy. But we had more people, our tables around listening. And then they're like, hey, we loved you guys. You want to come back a second time? And that second time was just complete.
The third,
they had the dirt bikes and all that shit. And we were like, we're not coming back. Fuck this.
The second time was the third deck of the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Basically it became like a tailgate party thing where like there's people outside smoke, like being loud and shit. It was for like a weed club party.
Yeah.
So like there was weed and alcohol and shit, but like that wasn't really an issue. It's just like once the motorcycles came in, and then I was like, they don't give up like this. And the second time, I think they may have seen the first show. So like the first time, they're like, we have some comedians for you guys, and they were like very supportive. Yeah. And then the second show, like the next year when we went back, they're like, we have some comedy, and everyone's like, no, boo.
Well, if there's music going on and all that shit, it's just like, no, don't kill the mood. Like, we were having a good time. We don't need to hear these assholes.
But we don't know any better because they're like saying, hey, we want comedy. So I'm like, oh, they want to hear me. And then you get there, and then people are like, oh, I didn't know there was going to be fucking comedians. I wanted to just party. Now I got to listen to this.
That's 50% of the bar gigs I've ever been to. What? There's fucking comedy here. What the fuck?
Yeah, that one was an interesting one.
I have an interesting sort of a private gig that I did with our buddy, Nick Michelson.
Those gigs I'm talking about, I was with Nick Michelson.
Yep. He's the perfect guy to have in that scenario. But
I have something I want to tell you, but I can't tell you on air.
Oh, good. Come on, say it here. Nobody's gonna listen. We don't have anybody listen to this podcast. We killed our own viewership with our long breaks. Come on, tell us. Nobody's hearing right now. All right. He'll tell me off air. Me and Nick Michelson, we did a gig in June of this year. It was at this place called Kirkwood Ski Resort. Was that a ski resort?
Okay.
Kirkwood. This newer comic out of Reno, she booked us, and we get there, and when we're driving over there, she writes in the group chat, have it be PG-13-ish. I'm like, okay, we got that. So Michelson was going to be the headliner. I'm being the feature. So we get to the gig, and we're with these two other edgy comics, and we look at the crowd, and the crowd that lines up, it's a bunch of kids sitting Indian style, and I mean 20 of them. 20 fucking 8, 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 5-year-old kids sitting Indian style with their parents.
Oh, boy.
And then the lady running the show goes, okay, Michelson, you're going to do 40, and Mark, 40? you're going to do 20. And we're like, Michelson's like, I'm not doing 40, and he's not doing 20. So we reduced our times down to manageable 25 and manageable 15. And we realized, all of us together, that we're going to have to do a G-rated show.
Man.
And we are all fumbling through our notes. We are all looking at our cell phones. We're fumbling through our notes. We're writing jokes on the spot. I'm going, I guess I'll do my hammerhead shark joke, I guess. And I was like, well, can I change this joke to make it G-rated? I was like to Nick, hey, the kids still like Toy Story, huh? I got a joke about Toy Story. We're just thinking of anything.
I like Toy Story.
We looked at the objective like this. It felt like all of us were on a ship. It got hit by a torpedo, and we're doing everything in our power to plug in the hole in the ship so we don't sink. And we did it.
I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I thought this. Kids like roasting, and they like you to be kind of animated, right?
You're like, look at this stupid fucking kid over here.
That's what I did. I said this. If the kid didn't laugh at my joke, you didn't laugh at my joke. You little squirt, you. Hey, you. Oh, yeah, you don't laugh at me? Well, guess what? You're Mr. Poopy Pants. And that guy's like a big laugh, you know?
The kid's like, you're Poopy Pants.
Yeah. I slipped and I said fuck one time, right?
Ooh.
Okay. And I recovered nicely. It's like, okay, hey, that's okay. That's okay. These kids watch PG-13 movies. You're allowed one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie, okay?
That's true.
This kid, you've heard the F word in your Transformers movies, and the kid was like, I don't watch Transformers. It's like, get up to this little boy, everybody. He has taste. I just did everything in my power. Everything. At one point, I used the word prejudice, right? And the kid was like, I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
Yeah, he was like, I don't even know what that means. Like, oh, that's nice. Get up to this kid. He doesn't even know what the word prejudice means. That's the most wholesome thing I've heard all day. was like, no wonder he liked the first comic. The first comic was black.
Oh my god. And the kids
I
still don't get it, but that was for you guys.
Yes, I looked at everything too as like, look, half these jokes are going to be for the kids, half these jokes are going to be the jokes that float over the kids' heads, and the adults like it. Like in the Pixar movies.
Right.
They always have jokes like that. It's like, oh, you kids don't get it, but your parents do. And then I set them all down, and I did my 3 little fucking pigs joke about the big bad wolf trying to fucking kill himself, and that got a goddamn fucking standing ovation, and that was the best fucking set I had all year.
Wait, like you told the whole suicide part and everything?
Yes.
Wow.
I didn't know what to do. I was looking through my notes. I was like, during the whole thing, I was like, you don't mind if I look at my notes, right? And like, go for it. We don't care. And I didn't know what to do because my last few jokes it was the set I wrote out earlier, and it was like, come fucking eating ass. It was just all this shit that I can't do. So then I was just like, I don't know, screw it. I'm going to end on this one. I don't care. And I just did it, and it got like a big applause break. And that was it. I was like, good, we're done. Good night, everybody. And fucking the best set I had all year. Legendary. And then Nick killed it. And the show had all edgy comics. So the comics from Reno was this girl named Fiona Reed and Mo. And they all do dark jokes, and we were all shitting bricks when we got there.
I love that you bring up Nick and children, because when we did, I have another one. We did LodiCon.
Very quickly, he did a joke about, dads. It's like, you pick kids are great. You have a dad. Well, unfortunately, I'm unfortunate in that department. Hey, kids, you guys want to hear a joke? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not my dad.
Oh, Mark.
All right, go for it. Anyway, so look, I'll say this. Weird gigs can become great gigs if there's teamwork and everyone works together. Right, and that's what we had to do that night.
Well, so LodiCon was interesting. If you guys don't know what LodiCon is, Comic Con, but in Lodi, California. So it wasn't like...
You know what? That's the perfect definition for it, because that's what
when we got the gig, they told us we had to be PG, try to be PG-13, PG. So we're like, okay. And we did all of our stuff, but Michelson made me laugh because he goes, I am too hot. I mean, I had a salad before coming up here.
He did that too. He did that too at the Kirkwood show.
And then every time he would have a joke bomb, he would just be like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to go have a salad after this. I won't remember none of this. It was killing me so bad. But, so I went up like a little after Nick. But there was this kid in the front row who was heckling each comic. And the kid had a good one towards Nick. He was dressed up as Gizmo from fucking the Gremlins.
Yeah.
And he looks at Nick, and Nick goes, I forgot what happened, but Nick's like, Nick's telling his jokes, everyone's laughing, but this kid's not laughing. And Nick's like, hey, talking to him, and the kid's like, when does the comedy start? And Nick goes, you could tell he was about to lay into him, and he goes, oh, like you could tell he's like, you're so lucky.
He was about ready to take off his belt, and he was like, oh, yeah, right, I'm out in public, right.
He's like, you're so lucky I had a salad before this. Like, but I went up there, and the first thing I said was, hey, kid, what was it that I said? I said, hey, you better not heckle me or else I'm going to throw water on you. Because, gremlin. And he got a little chuckle, and the kid goes, I don't get it. And I'm like, because you're dressed up as a gremlin. And he goes, uh-huh. I never seen the movie. And I'm like, why are you dressed up as a gremlin? Like,
you're wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt. You don't listen to Led Zeppelin, So that's kind of how it is.
That's always fun. You ever run into those people who have I don't think anyone's had a cool. That big one is Metallica. People will be wearing a Metallica shirt, and you're like, oh my god. I have a joke about it. Where I'm like, what's your favorite song? And then they're like, oh, actually, I don't know what Metallica is. I just like the way the shirt looks. And I'm just like, I hate you. Like, die.
I mean,
anyways.
I wear like skater fucking shirts. And
Yeah, I guess.
I don't
but
get
I don't
on
know. Like, I love Led Zeppelin.
I host a fucking goddamn comedy show at indoor skate park, and I don't know how to skate at all. So
Yeah, fair enough.
we're all kind of posers. Anyway, so
yeah. Anyways, after my set, I did good for that crowd. The only thing is, there was one joke, and all the comics thought it was hilarious, and they thought it was too much. I don't think it was that bad for PG-13.
yeah.
So I did my Uno therapist joke, but I cut out the ending part where I say, how many times you touched as a child. Instead, I said, how many times did you cry today? And I said, Uno. It was not as good, but it was more PG. But I still left in the part where I say, I understand you've been having some, instead of saying suicidal thoughts, I said sad thoughts. Why do you think that is? By the way, draw 4. And I left in the, excuse me? That's why I'm sad, make me draw 4. How dare you? I'll kill your parents. I literally still screamed it. And all the kids went, but
You can kind of get away with that, I
the
think.
parents loved it. The kids didn't.
It's just, when it comes to doing a G-rated show, that's what I told Michelson before we did ours. I was just like, you know what? This is going to be a lot of whipped cream, okay? Very little cake. It's just going to be a lot of whipped cream. So we got to do whatever we can. I told him, you know what? Riff away. That's what we're going to do right now, okay? Because we don't have a whole lot of... So it's just like...
That's all you can do.
Just have a good, fun performance. It's going to be a lot of riffing, and you're not going to be doing a whole lot of material. So just...
Wait.
You good?
Yeah, hang on. Sorry, I'm like checking. How's my microphone sound?
You sound good. Your regular voice...
better this way?
The microphone's good.
You're this way.
Okay, look, the microphone's good. Your regular voice stinks, but the microphone's good. So that's all that matters. Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with my voice right now, okay?
All right, I want to talk about a gig we both did a couple months ago at a beautiful town called Twain Harte.
Yeah, let's try our best not to name the venue.
Okay.
It's Twain Harte's so small.
All right. Okay.
It's so small.
It was hosted by this it was put together by this sad man.
Yeah, I felt really bad. Yeah.
All right.
I felt terrible. I wish you could, I don't know.
I didn't give a shit. I was laughing my balls off when we were driving home.
This is the button I was looking for. Oh.
Level's good.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways.
All right. So we're going to this gig, and we kind of had a feeling this was not going to be a very good gig.
Well, in conclusion, I don't know if that's the right word.
That's the wrong word.
That was my second time going there. The first time was amazing.
Okay.
It was in December of last year, and they made me host the show, and it was a packed house. There was probably like a good maybe 50, 60 people there. That's still good.
Lesson to all you new comics out there starting a room. Your first show is going to be like the opening weekend at the box office. Right. You're going to have your biggest gate and your biggest numbers and the most amount of people there. Your second show is going to be like the second week at the box office. Big, huge drop-off. It's not about the first show. It's about all the other shows you can maintain.
Right.
So remember that. That's to you new comics. You're gonna be on a fucking cloud nine that first show, and then the second show. I've known people that done a second show and they only get 2 or 3 people paid to be there. So,
I mean, look at no offense to me, but like for like Finnegan's and shit. Like, remember when we first started that up? It would be packed. Like, all of us, and then now everyone's like, "Yeah, I'll try."
I'm working on some new stuff.
Oh, who'd you murder? Why is there anagrams?
I don't know. So anyway, we go to Twain Harte. We did not have a good feeling about this show. I'm gonna be the host.
And I was supposed to headline.
And there's 2 people.
My mom and stepdad.
And we still did the fucking show.
So I was going to be like, nah, fuck this. I was going to just do my whole 45. And Mark yells, please don't.
Yes.
I hope, I want to post a clip There's so we were just joking. I'm like, man, sold out crowd tonight. Da, da, da. And my mom just started recording me and Mark. So I'm like, wow, sold out crowd tonight. And Mark's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, should I record my set? And Mark just goes, no.
Yes, it was the most. I said it very matter of factly.
Well, I was
as humanly
just kidding, but it was just funny how Mark's like, no.
No.
Oh, my throat's starting to itch.
How do you host a comedy show for two people? How?
I'm just used to it with like the shitty open mics I've done and stuff.
Open mic is an open mic, but for two people at a show,
what's worse is, so it was my mom and stepdad, and I was like, they're like, just say new stuff. They're like, just have fun.
Yeah.
So I went up there and I told them like a new one-liner joke I was working on. It was my, who'd you murder? Did they find the bodies?
Not enough people.
What would you do if Kiefer just came through the window? He's like, shit.
He's not that important. He's expendable.
Bruh.
We just can't continue on with the podcast.
But no, I have this new one-liner I do where I say, if and when I decide to kill myself, I want to do it the old-fashioned way. Toaster in a bathtub. That way it's easy to clean up blood after you bash your head in with a toaster.
Yes.
My mom and my stepdad did not laugh. And we were in the car ride on the way home. And they're like, suicide's not funny, Jordan. And I was like, yes, it is. And they're like, no, it's not. And I was like, I can probably name. I'm like, that one was a little bit graphic. I can understand that. I'm like, but suicide is could be funny.
Suicide's always
and
hilarious.
They said, name one joke you know. I told them David Thorne's joke about hanging themselves with anal beads. They laughed their ass off. And I was like, fucking checkmate. And I told David Thorne that. I was like, hey, I had to use your joke to prove my mom and stepdad a point. Because they're like, oh, you can't joke about that. I'm like, but what if you tell it in this way? They're like, then that's funny. Then it means it's funny. Everything is funny.
I didn't know it. I didn't know what to do during that Twain Hart show. At one point,
fucking bird flew in on your set.
Yeah, Patrick Ely, he was with us during that show. Two birds flew in, and they just were flying around in the venue, and then they flew out, and Patrick was disappointed because he was like, God damn it, there goes half our audience.
Yeah.
I kind of liked them.
Yeah.
They made me feel good for a second. Okay, so the show was so bad, the guy that ran the show, he also owned the venue. It was an axe throwing place. So then he goes, after the show's over. Who cares?
I was about to say, I was like, you're not helping the guy's case at all.
I don't care. So anyway, he's like, so guys, you think I should just, wrap it all up, And it's like, and I'm like, I don't know, comedy shows, I may not want to do them here. No, I mean the whole venue. You think I should just close it all down? And then he started breaking down in front of us, and then we had to console him.
Yeah, I felt.
And then after we left, I told Patrick in the car, I was like, I'm pretty sure that guy doused that venue in gasoline after we left.
I've seen that they've thrown a few more shows after us, so I don't know if it went well or if they figured it out, but I don't know.
Oh, good Lord!
Yeah,
God forbid.
What sucks is the first show that I did, they had us perform on the ground in front of the axe throwing things. And I made a joke about it where I was like, I literally feel like if I bomb tonight, you're going to throw axes at me. Because, you know what I mean? But then the second show, they built the stage. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this looks nice. I'm excited. And then no crowd.
I was thinking like a Tales from the Crypt episode, since it's an axe throwing place. After the show, he gets one of the axes and he just kind of just puts it against his wrists.
Yeah.
I'll say this, people. Sometimes you never know what you're going to get with a show, but that we came up short. We came up short that night, and it was
in so many weird locations, man. I performed on top of a record store that was going out of business. Have I told you that one?
No.
Yeah, I forget. It was in like Manteca, Modesto, something like that. It's just a record store going out of business. They had us go up to this DJ booth, like on top of the record store, and while people were shopping, we're just saying jokes to people. Like a lot of them are just like shopping and like whatever. They're just like getting a CD and they're just like. Like they were like, what?
Fuck.
But we had like a few people being like this, like they actually enjoying themselves. It's just it's a weird location. And then I did that show with fucking Amy Thompson and Elvin at a pizzeria where they had us on a balcony thing, and there was 2 audience members there. I drove all the way to San Francisco for that fucking bullshit.
And you told me the pay wasn't good either.
No.
Oh boy.
What else? There's so many dumb ones I've done. There was one I think I've told you about before. During the pandemic, as some of you guys know, we couldn't perform. It sucked. But this was one of my favorite weird venues I've ever done. Is Carlos Rodriguez. Shout out to him. He's like one of my idols, like in our scene. Well, I guess he's in Vegas now. But anyways, he's like, hey, I got a venue. You want to perform? And I was like, fuck yeah. I didn't care. I was like, whatever it is, I'll do it because it was the pandemic. Yeah. And he goes, cool, here's the address. He sends me somebody's house. So I was like, whatever. It's a party at someone's house. I'll do it. Yeah. We get there, and then this party, like this guy built a bar, like a legit bar, built a stage for us, had a sound equipment, everything, and had tables set. Like it looked like he was running a business out of his backyard. It was crazy. There was like 50, 60 people there. They weren't, I hate to say it, they were not doing whatchamacallit, 6 feet and shit. They didn't give a fuck. It was a family.
Yeah.
We didn't have to wear masks or anything. But
by the way, everyone in the 209, we didn't give a shit. You didn't lock us down during that time. Yeah, that's for damn straight. I mean, you know what, you little pricks? You want to fucking do your little lockdowns again, your mandates? Blow me. You can't put me down in my spot, okay, asshole? I can do whatever I want. I ain't afraid to no ghost. I ain't afraid to no ghost.
They had me host this show, and it was so much fun. Like, it literally, like, that crowd was like, like, they loved it. Yeah. And my favorite moment of the night was when, before I walked in, they're like, all right, Jordan, here's the bar. This guy knows that you're a comic. You get free drinks throughout the night. And I was like, oh, cool. And the guy's like, what do you want? I was like, I'll have some Coke. And he's like, my man. And I was like, Coca-Cola. And he's like, oh. Like, he was so upset. So he opens this new 2-liter of Coke, pours me a glass. He goes, here you go. I'm like, thank you. And then throughout the show, I'd come back. Hey, can I get a refill? He's like, yeah, sure. After my 3rd refill, he goes, dude, you're the only one drinking soda. Everyone's drinking beer. You're the only one here. And he's like, your set was hilarious. Here's a tip. And he just gives me the entire 2-liter.
And
so I'm just walking around, and Carlos is like, what the fuck? I'm like, he said I was funny. Yeah, so I'm just sitting in the front row watching the show with a fucking 2-liter of fucking Coca-Cola. It was the best.
My tip was a 2-liter of Kirkland Signature soda.
But he was generally like, bro, you're the only one drinking Coke.
Yeah.
Just take it. But that was a fun one.
Private gigs can be scary.
I think we have time for one more story. Mark, what are you feeling?
All right. Okay.
By the way,
I'll go with...
if you guys want more of these, leave it in the comments below. We have plenty of
Don't
stories.
say that. They're not going to say anything now.
Huh?
Don't say that. They're not going to say anything now.
We'll get a few people. If not, then we won't tell the stories.
Hey, send me a hate comment. I always like hate comments. Those are my favorites.
I don't.
I do.
Can you guys leave us compliments, please?
No, I want a hateful one.
Can you guys leave a very sexual comment towards Mark?
I'm taken now. All right, this one
I'm gonna leave
I threw myself into. Now, if there's the roast battling, right?
Yeah.
And Mr. Josh Means, basically the commissioner of Roast Battle Bay Area,
yes.
He always likes to have a screwy matchup of the night. So he likes to have like the good, up and comers and some established veterans and that kind of shit, good writers and stuff like that. And then he likes to have the, what the fuck is this even doing on the card?
Right.
Roast Battle of the Night. So he was booking this online on Facebook, and then Stephen Ferris was in the comment section, and he was just trying to find someone to battle. Nobody looked like he was swimming by himself in the lake, and he had nobody to be around. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll do it. I'll roast battle you because that sounds entertaining. And it was booked immediately. So I don't know too much about this Stephen Ferris. If you don't know, Stephen Ferris is he's a kind man. He's a comic out of Sacramento, but he might have brain damage. So, um, so have that in mind. He does. I love him too. He does full sets about deodorant sticks and ceiling fans.
I told you. I was about to say like that's my favorite moment from him ever was the ceiling fan. He literally we were just, what are you gonna joke about? I might talk about ceiling fans, and we are like, oh, ha ha ha. And he went out there and he only talked about ceiling fans for 5 minutes.
Yes. So I was like, I don't know much about him. I'm gonna ask him to call me, and we'll talk about it the day before. So I told him my spiel. I told him where I worked and some history about me, some fun facts, all this kind of shit. And then he was like, okay, all right. Okay, Mark, I have questions for you. All right. Here's my first question. Are you a fan of Little House on the Prairie? I'm like, no. He's like, well, that's surprising.
That's surprising.
What's your favorite kind of tree? I'm like, redwood. It's like, wow, you turned your back on your own name. Wow. So I'm like, holy shit. So we get into the battle. You gotta have your rebuttals, you know? Right. So when it came to, the battle was so chaotic. When we first got on stage, they immediately started laughing at us.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh my God,
they're a circus.
Yeah, we're like, they're already laughing at us. It's like, I think they want us to have a freak show. Is this going to be a freak show fight? It's like, you know what? If you guys want a fucking freak show, you're going to get a goddamn freak show tonight.
There you go.
So basically, it was so chaotic, the roast battle. I almost said the N-word.
What is up with you today?
Look, this is what happened.
That's not okay.
I try to say special needs kids. Instead, I said special needs nids. Now,
they're not even similar, Mark.
The crowd went, whoa! The crowd went, whoa! And then Alvin Duke, he's a black guy. He was one of the judges. He's, whoa, what the fuck? I was like, hey, I didn't say it. All right, I didn't say it. He's like, we think you did. It's like, no, check the tape. Check the tape. And I was shouting at the crowd to check the tape.
Oh my God, Mark.
There's one part of the roast battle I won't even mention. It involves somebody I'm seeing, and it was embarrassing, but I made it funny. Let's just say I lost it immediately, and then I made it funny. The roast battle was so chaotic. We just lost track of what jokes we were doing, and then we just started talking to each other. And he won it. I didn't know what to do. I felt ashamed of the roast battle, but at the same time, I was like, well, it was pretty entertaining. And then that's where the Mark Maple fucking division came out of. Basically, came out of that goddamn. You guys don't know, they have a fucking division named after me at the goddamn roast battles.
If you win, you get a helmet.
You get a helmet. Put it this way, I'm proud of it and ashamed of it all at once. But it was quite a eventful journey. It was quite a moment. And that's how I am. That's usually him at these roast battles. That's usually how I look like.
Hey, at least you're having fun. That's all that matters.
I'm just trying to make it seem like the fucking light ring is part of like a graphic.
Well, shit.
Anyway, young comics, take the gigs you can get.
Hey,
you might want to say no to a couple. I'm gonna do one next month that sounds like it sucks. I'm not gonna plug that show.
Save it until I want to hear that story whenever it happens.
I'll tell you immediately. I know there's one next month coming up where I'm like, oh yeah, this one's gonna suck.
Yeah, that bad.
All right. Anyway, well, people, that's about it.
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap up because we're tired and we're cranky and we're hungover.
It's killing me, but I did it for you.
We did it for you. We're gonna come back. We're gonna try to come back at season 3.
Back. I'm saying it. We're coming back. I'm coming all of your backs.
Yes, that's right.
We're doing it. I don't give a fuck.
Season 2, I think there is like 5 episodes.
Basically, we're gonna. I kind of want to do a whole revamp too. I'd love to like change up the art maybe and like show. You know what I mean? We're gonna do something big. We're gonna like. I want to add some. Like we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna make this happen.
People, I'm the creator of Graffiti Comedy. Please go to Graffiti Comedy September 8th. Now that is a cool gig.
Yes,
that's a good one with nice crowds and a cool aesthetic. And
yes,
and I'm the host. And it's going to be chaotic. I tell the comics to take chances that night. I don't give a fuck if they got Finn half the crowd.
Please have me back. I haven't been there. That was a fun fucking show.
You'll be back eventually. But I don't do it every month. It's a special.
The last one I was on, I think, was in like February.
I don't know. You know, I am. I put that through. It's a comedy show the comics want to be on.
Yes,
so
I loved it. It was a great vibe.
I don't do it every month either. I do it every other month.
Which is smart.
Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. Get those. Also, we got Bricks and Hops this coming Friday, September 1st. One of the best comics in the entire state of California, Alex Rodriguez, is going to be your goddamn headliner.
I literally was going to just show up and watch, but I have my own show to go to. But, wait. Yeah. What am I talking about? Sorry. I was like, wait a minute. I do.
Mario, the Mario from LA, he's coming up to do the guest spot.
Oh, dope. That'll be dope.
What else? I don't know. There's other shit, but who cares?
Is my show on the second or the first? Oh yeah, it's on the first.
Yeah. And then there's other shows. Follow me on Instagram to figure out all the other shit. But those are the two important ones. Why? Because I produce those ones, and those ones mean a lot to me. Also, news coming up on a show I'm going to be producing in Sacramento. I can't totally say it right now. It's not totally confirmed, but it's 90% there. Follow me at Madman Maple on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. My voice is fucked too. Continued success.
You guys know what it is. I throw a show at Stab Comedy Theater in Sacramento called The Subject Line. Each month we do a different subject. The same night is Mark's show, but it's at 9. Well, yours is at 9 too, huh?
Yep.
Anyways.
You can't go to both. You got to pick one, dude.
Pick one. If you're more of a fan of clean comedy, check this one out. This is the subject. We have to stick to clean jokes. September 9th, I'll be at an AA fundraiser in Loomis, California. Location to be announced. I'm doing a show with Wendy Lewis, so you guys should check that out if you're in the area.
That's nice.
And then your boy's one of the new hosts at Stab Open Mic. So if you guys just want to come see me, September 10th, I'll be hosting that open mic. So if you just want to come on out, see me tell some new jokes, check it out. September 13th, I'll be at Knightson Saloon at Knightson, California. Never been there, never heard of it. Dave Touchstone's putting it together. I hope it's a good show. Let's see.
That's gonna. We'll talk about that on a future podcast. That show.
And then September 17th, I'll be at the Callback Bar doing Dress to Kill. We all have to dress up and look sexy as fuck while telling jokes, and then people judge who has the sexiest outfit.
What's the outfit you have in mind?
I don't know yet. I have an idea, but we'll get there.
Now remember, you have to walk that aisle too.
You
can't just run up there and tell. No, you gotta you gotta strike a pose. You know.
I know. I have a few ideas.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a few more coming up, but I'm just gonna announce those later. You don't need to know what I'm doing in October.
Yeah.
Yet. So.
People. Subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family members, but don't tell your fucking kids, okay?
Yes, please don't. Also, please check us out on our social medias. Jordan Q-Bomb on everything for me. Madman Maple for Mark. Maple-Baum Podcast, check it out on everything. Give us 5 stars on Spotify and on iTunes. It helps us out, please. And anything else?
Don't watch Oppenheimer in the front row at an IMAX theater. Because that happened to me recently.
You don't want to be like this. This is crazy.
By the way, I kept seeing all the pimples in the actors' faces during the whole. It was the main chick in the movie. She had this zit on her face during half the film. It was great.
Anyways, continued success. I can't talk.
Continued success.